This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel 1970-73 Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler YouTube channel.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1970-73 Carryover League. We got a series of huge importance early on in the season between giants, literal giants of the sport. We're talking about the National League West rivalry of epic proportions, the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. Two major players, of course, in the Carryover League that last many years. There are always players in this thing. Giants went to the League Championship Series last year. Dodgers were dismissed in the divisional round because, well, allegedly they just didn't have enough power. A bunch of singles hitters, and the pitching was good but not great, and they got dismissed. Giants could do everything, but they still couldn't get past the big red machine, the Cincinnati Reds. Or actually, they got past the Reds. You couldn't get past the Mets in this case. But it is a new year. And in this new year, hitting is down, pitching is up, and that favors a team like the Dodgers. And oh boy, they're taking advantage of it. Let's go take a look at what has happened beginning in Game 1, opening up in LA. Juan Maricel versus Andy Messersmith, and of course this is going to be a pitcher's duel, and the final score is 2-0 Dodgers. We get an error on a catcher, we get a two-base error on an outfielder, second and third nobody out, and a bloop single. That's your ball game. Messersmith, a two-hit shutout, though he walked 8. Figure that one out. Put 10 guys on, only 2 were by hit, and the Dodgers win Game 1. Can they hold on to home field in Game 2 and increase their lead in the National League West? Well, the answer is no. And in surprising fashion, we have Sam McDowell, a starter 9, versus the best pitcher in the National League to this point, Don Sutton, a starter 9. But the Giants win 3-1. Don Sutton walked the batter in the 4th inning ahead of Willie McCovey. Don't do that. Don't walk a guy in front of Willie McCovey. McCovey, with a 210 card, rolls homer 1 of 4 on 3-7, which basically means he has more power versus righties this year than he did in his MVP year of 69. 2-run blast, 2-0. Sutton can't believe it. He's been untouched this year other than that. Dodgers come back with a run, but again, bunch of singles, because they're the Dodgers, just a run. Insurance run in the 9th on a pass ball after a triple. 3-1, and we got a split. And we're thinking, okay, here we go, folks. This is going to be a long series. Home and away wins, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We go to San Francisco. Let's see what happens here. Game number 3. It is Tommy John and Ron Bryant. And in this one, it is the Dodgers in the 2nd inning with a couple rookies who didn't really have very good rookie years. Nonetheless, they played. And it's Steve Garvey, the third base DH, who just DHs, because his defense at third is bad, and haven't even introduced him or suggested him to play first base yet. 2-run bomb, and then a couple batters later, Joe Ferguson, solo homer. The 2 rookies of the Dodgers who will bring power into their future, bring it to the present to a 4-0 lead. Tommy John gives up a couple doubles in the 6th and a single, and that's about it. Insurance off the leaky Giant bullpen. And the Dodgers reclaim home field 6-2. Which sets up a classic Game 4 Classic Game 4 coming up, folks. And you expect the Giants to even this series up. This crazy box score. It is Claude Osteen for the Dodgers and Jim Barr, the rookie, for the Giants. This is Jim Barr's first inning. Single, 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 walk, single, pop out, single, triple, ground out. 8-0 Dodgers. Top of the second. Billy Grabarkowitz, solo home run. 9-0 Dodgers in Game 4. About to put on a embarrassing, whatever, on the Giants. Bottom of the second inning. Single, walk, single. Chris Spire. Crispier, better than the crunchier. 4-run dinger for Chris Spire. This is a 9-4 game. Claude Osteen, very shaky. All he has to do is pitch 5 innings with a 9-0 lead to qualify for a win. But in the third inning, single, single, double, single, single. After a double play, a couple more singles, it's 9-8. Then in the bottom of the fourth, Osteen is taken out after 3. Gary Weslowski is brought in. He immediately gives up a double, a couple walks and a double. And yes, the San Francisco Giants, down 9-0 after 2 inning and a half, take a 10-9 lead. And oh boy, buckle up, folks, for the fantastic finish. In the 8th inning, both teams going through their bullpens. We're at the lefty reliever closer types, Jim Brewer and Steve Hamilton. Huge advantage, Jim Brewer. What does Steve Hamilton do in the 8th? A single, a double, and then former Giant Hal Lanier, former Giant, played for him last year, signed by the Dodgers off the waivers in the offseason, bloop single to tie it in the 9th inning, a double by Bill Russell. Dodgers have reclaimed the lead 11-10, and Jim Brewer, that's it. $1.26 ERA, 0.60 something whip. 6 straight guys melted down in the 8th and 9th innings. Heck, if they would have lost 9-0, it wouldn't have hurt so much. But the Giants lose 11-10 in a game they came back and they needed to come back, only to blow it late. And folks, the Dodgers today in Game 5 have a chance to put a severe hurt on the Giants this year, while being one of the top teams, maybe the best record in the National League. Game 5 in San Francisco. Oh my, what a pitching duel we have for you, folks. I wasn't going to disappoint. Game 5, it'll be Don Sutton coming off of 3 days rest. First round pick, improving to his 1972 card. Allegedly the top pitcher in all of baseball, to be debated, but he may as well be, against Juan Maricel, the top pitcher in baseball the last 3 years, to be debated, until this new card appeared. This is, of course, Maricel's 71 card, and it's been kind of roughed up this year. So the Dodgers, if they seize momentum, I'd be very surprised if Don Sutton were to lose 2 games, but it is the Giants. Don Sutton, Juan Maricel, I'm expecting a 2-1 final. Let's get started with 3 solo homers. Let's get started from Candlestick Park. Willie Davis leads it off. 44 off Maricel, sky's the limit. Ted Sizemore, 1-8, grounds to third. And Wes Parker, 68, skies to right field. Bobby Bonds leads off for the Giants. 35 will be a walk. And now base running has been key in this series. Neither team very good at throwing out base runners. You got Tom Haller with a +2 arm. The Giants have Dick Dietz with a +1 arm and Fran Healy with a +2 arm. So this is one of the few series where guys have been running all over the place. Bonds, an ace stealer, will take off down 3-1 in the series. They got to start making some moves and getting some runs. He rolls a 5 and slides in safely. Tito Fuentes, the runner at second. 1-8, let's take a look at Tito Fuentes' card of 1973. 286 at second base. Switch hitter, of course. Great job with the bat. 710 plate appearances, 277 batting average, and 1-8 is triple 126. Ball rolls all the way to the wall. We got a triple, and the Giants get a lead, 1-0. William McCovey, 2-6, a grounder to short. That'll get another run in. As Fuentes, infield was back, and Fuentes scores on a ground ball. Dick Dietz, 53, first. Ken Henderson, 54, center. 2 runs in the first off of Don Sutton. Might be the only runs he's given up all year in the first inning. Top of 2, Willie Crawford, 38, second. Billy Grabarkowitz, 49. Triple 1 is a base hit. He is a base stealer. He will continue to run down 2 runs because that's the Dodgers' MO. And he's thrown out stealing. And the Dodgers are like, we don't care. The only time we'll care is if you got Johnny Bench back there. And it's in the best interest of the Dodgers for like somebody else to knock the Reds out of the playoffs this year because they probably aren't capable of doing it. So anyway, with 2 outs, it's going to be Bill Buckner. 5-11, bounce to short. Spire, 2-22 at short, makes the play. Gary Matthews, 1-8, K. Ed Goodson, 57, K. And with 2 outs, it's crispier, crunchier, all that. Sky's the center. We go to the third. Tom Haller, 4-11. Sky's it into right field. Giants have incredible defense in the outfield. Henderson, 2 with the -2 arm, E12, makes the catch. Bill Russell, playing right field in this era. 2-9, grounds a short. Won't move to shortstop for another few years. Frank Baker, he is the shortstop. 37's a K. All right. Maricel's faced the minimum, giving up a hit. Ron Hunt will lead off here in the bottom of the third. 3-9 is a ground to third. Bobby Bonds, 56 is a K. Tito Fuentes again, 1-2, pops the first. Top of the fourth. Willie Davis, 66, is a base hit off the Maricel card. An A stealer. We know what they want to do. They're going to keep doing it until they're down in the series, and they can't be down in the series. They've already won 3 games. So they're going to run. Willie Davis, a 14. Let me check this one here. Let's see. Oh, boy, this is going to be tight. This will be tight. A 15. 16 -3, 1 to 13. He's out by a whisker, and with 2 guys caught stealing, the Dodgers are going to have to put a kibosh on their base stealing game today. They can still run the base. They can still go first to third, but no more stealing. Ted Sizemore, 48, bounces to short. Spire again, 2-22, makes the play. With 2 outs, Wes Parker, 35, single. Willie Crawford, 38, is a grounder to second. In some ways, not stealing is not a bad gig if the guy rolls a plus, because we will still hold the runners on base to get the plus opportunities. But if you hold them, they're not allowed to run. The road team gets 2 caught stealings, home team gets 3 caught stealings before I put a limit on it. William McCovey, 64, off the Sutton card. Triple 1 and 2 double is a double. Dick Dietz, 59, bounces a short. Frank Baker's a 3-E21 at shortstop, and he makes the play. Ken Henderson, 110. Let's take a look at Ken Henderson's card, a 1970. This is an outstanding card, and maybe they projected him to continue along these lines throughout the decade. Wouldn't really happen, though, and he would move on to a few different teams. One of 3 different guys who could have played center field for the Giants in 1970, joining Willie Mays and Bobby Bonds, which is ridiculous. Embarrassment of riches. 110 is a base hit to left field. McCovey will hold a third. He's being held on, +2 arm, but they're going to try and hit their way through this. Gary Matthews, 2-8 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Ed Goodson. 46 off of Sutton is a liner to second base. Wasted that opportunity there. Rare to get 2 guys on off of Sutton in an inning. We'll go to the 5th. Billy Grabarkowitz, 311, Sky's the center. Bill Buckner, 67, is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Tom Haller, 54. 54 off the Maricel card. Homer 1 to 13, double the rest. And it is gone. Solo homer, Tom Haller. We have a 2-1 game. With 2 outs in the top of the 5th, it's Bill Russell. 35, let's take a look at Bill Russell's card of 1972. Great defense in the outfield, shoddy defense at shortstop. It doesn't matter, they want him to play, get his bat in the lineup, and his great base running. 3-5 homer, 1 to 10, triple the rest, and he misses the homer, ends up at third base. One of his, well, just 5 triples. The tie run at third with 2 outs. It's Frank Baker against Juan Maricel. The pitch to Frank. 54 again off the Maricel card. We saw it before. Homer 1 to 13 double. It's not a homer this time, though, fortunately for Maricel, because Frank Baker does not have power. It's only a harmless single that ties the game, and it is 2-2. Willie Davis. 5-12 is a walk. Maricel's put 4 straight guys on in the 5th. Oh my goodness. Ted Sizemore, 2 on and 2 outs. The pitch to Sizemore. 33 is a pop to short, and Maricel gets out of it, but we have a tie game. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, bottom of the 5th. Giants, now they got to score off Sutton again. They were happy with 2 runs to 4 frames. Now they got to get it started up again. Crispier. 2-8, grounds to short. Ron, Dog, Will, Hunt. 57 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Bobby U.S. Bond. 63 off Sutton. Is pitcher X, and Sutton's an E6 pitcher. Oh, a cheap error, an E6 pitcher. Very rare, but an error. And Bonds is an ace stealer. You know he's going to steal with 2 outs. Off the Haller arm. He's safe. We have a runner at second for Tito Fuentes. The offense to this point for the Giants. 37, saw the card earlier. It's single 1 to 18 for the base hit. We have runners on the corners with 2 outs for the magnificent Willie McCovey. Let's take a look at the 1970 Willie McCovey card. Oh my goodness. Holy, oh my gosh. 3-7 is a homer chance with this card against a righty? Oh my goodness. Good grief. And anyway, this is the guy Sutton needs to get out here. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And you can't really walk him. Again, that's a possibility, but you got Dick Dietz, who has 115 walks. So if you walk him as well, then you're losing the game there. So the pitch to McCovey. The pitch to Willie. 1-4 dismisses and skies to center field. 2-2. Sutton pitches out of that. We go to the 6th. Maricel Sutton. It's only 2-2, but they have not been particularly sharp. Wes Parker. 2-8, grounds to second. Willie Crawford, 1-8 is a K. And Grabarkowitz, 46, bouncer to second base. This is Hunt to 3-19 at second. And Ron Hunt makes the play. So really, just only a couple bad innings for Maricel. He's retired the side the other 4 times. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Dick Dietz. Let's take a look at the Dick Dietz card. We mentioned last inning you didn't want to load the bases with McCovey to face this guy because a walk would have blown the game. What a magnificent year for Dick Dietz in 1970. 22 homers, a 300 average, 109 walks, 36 doubles. Pitch to Dick Dietz. 2-8 hits the column with a single. And Ken Henderson. 1-9 skies the center. Gary Matthews. 1-5. Let's take a look at Gary Matthews' card, 1973. It is he and Gary Maddox coming up through this system, waiting for them to play and being blocked by the great Bobby Bonds, by Willie Mays, by Ken Henderson. Eventually, Matthews and Gary Maddox, who, by the way, is still in the minor league system for the Giants for no particularly good reason, they move on. And they squander the talent. And the Phillies love Gary Maddox, and Gary Matthews is loved by the Braves and the Phillies later on in the decade. So, yeah, that was a faux mistake by the Giants. 1-5 here, however, is Homer 1-6 double. He rolls a 10. It is a double. Dick Dietz is an 8 runner, so I'll hold at third. Second and third, 1 out. The infield has to come up. Giants need to get at least a sac fly here and take a lead. Ed Goodson's the batter. 5-10 off of Sutton is a catcher's card. They need a pass ball here off Tom Haller, who is a 3-2. And they get a pass ball off the 3 catcher, and the unearned run. Pretty shoddy way of Sutton to lose the lead or lose the tie. The other runner, Matthews, goes to third. We have a runner at third with 2 outs, and we have Chris Spire as the hitter. 48 is this guy to center. So, an unearned run in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 3-2 game. This is where Maricel with his 69 card would shine. But the 71 card we're using has been kind of meh this year. But the Giants bullpen, they have, in name, they're good. Steve Hamilton, Don McMahon. In performance, they're not. They've been getting knocked around all year, and that's why the Giants have a losing record. So here we go into the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Bill Buckner. 64 off Maricel, bounces to third. This is Mr. Fuente, a 3-16 at third base. And it's an error on the E16 third base Fuentes. Buckner at B stealer, and he doesn't hesitate either. He's going to... Oh, he can't steal. Never mind. Haller almost blew my roll. You've been caught twice. You just got to relax at first base and hit your way through the inning. So he will not steal. He is held on, of course, and Haller will bat. 65 is this guy to center. In some ways, being held on and not being thrown out might be advantageous to the road team. So, Bill Russell with a runner at first. 1-7 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's Frank Baker. 38 is this guy to center field. Well, stretch time here in San Francisco. We've got a new record we pulled off the old list. We've been enjoying Moby Grape for quite some time now. We found this one. First time listening to it. It's a bonus track compilation, and there is so much more Moby Grape out there now than there was 44 years ago, apparently. Or at least for people to listen to. Let's see, rounders on this one. That's nice. Skip song, looper. Yeah, changes. Right before my eyes, yeah. Yeah, Moby Grape. San Francisco's finest. Here, in the bottom of the 7th inning, they'd like to get some more support for Maricel. It will be Ron Hunt leading off in the bottom of the 7th inning. 46 off Sutton, Sky is the center. Bobby Bonds. 2-8 is a K with 2 outs. It's Tito Fuentes. 2-4. It rolls to the pitcher. Nothing easy for the Giants, and boy, they really need to win this thing. They're 3-2, 6 outs to get. They got Maricel, Don McMahon, a very shaky Steve Hamilton. Yeah. And the Dodgers they rallied in the 8th and 9th innings in Game 4. They're feeling that they can do it again. Willie Davis. 2-8 is a base hit. The A-stealer has to hold. It's got to be killing them. And the Dodgers complaining about my rule. And my rule says, be better base stealers. And don't waste these opportunities early in a game when it's more strategic to use them late in a game. But that's not their MO. And they were thrown out by a weak-armed catcher to boot. So the other rule, too, is you can't hit and run either. Because in the hit and run result, a stolen base attempt would be issued, which we said we cannot do. So hitting and running is not allowed. So the only thing that is still allowed is running coast to coast. You can run off of the outfielder's arms, of course, but you just can't steal bases or hit and run. You can bunt, though. Ted Sizemore, 66. Off the Maricel card is single 1 to 3. He rolls a 15. Wes Parker. 39's a walk, and here it is, folks. Now Maricel can take a loss here if they score a couple. It's a starter 8, and because he's won Maricel and because of his reputation, he's going to continue to face Willie Crawford. Mostly because they just don't have confidence in their bullpen. The Dodgers, on the other hand, even with Sutton pitching, have Jim Brewer at the end of it. Plenty of confidence in their bullpen. Like they really need one. So first and second, 1 out. It is Willie Crawford trying to break Maricel and give the Dodgers a tie or the lead. The pitch to Willie Crawford. 1-7. Let's take a look at the Willie Crawford card of 1973. You know, it's 14 homers and 457 at-bats, but for the Dodgers, that's a lot of home runs. And it's a nice card because those homers come against right-handed pitching, of course. But 1-7 in this particular case is 1-1, single ... It is the single ... It breaks Maricel, might just break the Giants' hearts as well, as they've tied the game again in the 8th inning with more trouble afoot. Runners on the corners, 1 out, and it's Billy Grabarkowitz, Bill Buckner, Tom Haller, and Bill Russell. Now, they went with, oh my goodness. Maricel leaves after 7 1/3. But this leaky Giant bullpen, who do they call on here? They're going to call on Don McMahon because they called on Hamilton in Game 4. They haven't used Don McMahon in the series. He's a quality pitcher. And they will have him in here with runners in the corners and 1 out. They're going to bring it up for Billy Grabarkowitz. The pitch to Billy Grabarkowitz. 55 is a walk. They are loaded for Bill Buckner. Now what do? Well, home team, you can still get the 1-2-3 double play or the 4-2-3 double play. And Buckner hits into a lot of them. So they will bring the infield up with the bases loaded and 1 out with possibly their season on the line, dare we say. I know it's crazy to say this in May, but I mean, it's really going to put a damper on things for the Giants if they lose this series 4-1. They have lost to the Reds, and yeah, it's not looking pretty here. So they desperately need to stop. The pitch to Bill Buckner. 2-7. Let's take a look at Buckner's card. Of course, a 3.19 average in 1972. And that will be a base hit into left field. 1-run scores. We can run Crawford if we want with 1 out. He's a 16 runner. And the single is to left. Matthew's got a -1 arm. You got to run him on a 15. And he scores on a 5. A big, huge 2-run single by Bill Buckner in the 8th inning. And the Giant bullpen lets him down again. And Maricel has been let down this year again. And Don Sutton's the pitcher of record for the Dodgers at this point. It's 5-3 with runners on the corners. And Tom Haller, they're still bringing the infield up. 2-7, let's take a look at Haller's card because it continues, folks. 286 hitter, 1970 with 10 overs and 325 at-bats. Tom Haller. Single to left field. Grabarkowitz, did he go to third on the third of the plate? He did, so that means that he scores from third. Buckner could go coast to coast with 1 out off of Matthew's arm. No, he will not. It's got a -1 arm, so he'll stay at second. First and second, and Giants fans are apoplectic about their bullpen has been a disaster this year. And it is it's wrecking their chances. We talked about in the National League. The National League is loaded, and right now the Giants are in a really bad position. If they have a long slump in this season, because we know the Reds and Pirates and the Dodgers and Braves and Mets and also the super expansion team in the Mountain Division is going to probably make the playoffs. Bill Russell, first and second. 1 out. The pitch to Bill. 3-6. Saw the card earlier. Double 1 to 13. Base hit. ... It does not matter, folks. When the Dodgers want to get their single game going, they get it going. Takes them a while to accumulate the runs because the homers are, quick and easy, but they can get a bazillion singles in an inning. It is now 7-3 with runners in the corners and 1 out. Got to keep it up again for Frank Baker. 6-12's a sac fly to right field to make it an 8-3 game for Don Sutton. And Willie Davis will bat again. 54, lines to short. Oh boy, folks. 8-3 Dodgers with looking for their 3rd straight win in Candlestick Park. Sutton, he's cruising. Old pitch to Willie McCovey. 58, Sky's a center. Dick Dietz, 67 is a K. Ken Henderson, 1-9 is a Sky to center field. All right, McMahon continues to the 9th. Ted Sizemore, 1-9, pops a second. Wes Parker, 34, pitcher. Yeah, Willie Crawford had that big hit in the last inning. 58, get them all started. Lines to short. Bottom of the 9th of an 8-3 game, and just to add some insult to injury, here he comes, folks. Just to needle the Giants even more, Jim Brewer comes trotting out in a non-save situation. Let's take a look at the Jim Brewer card, because if you bat right-handed, you got no shot to get on base. Jim freaking Brewer, one of 2 early round draft picks for the Dodgers when they improved guys in the draft instead of adding players in the draft. And then they took the offset for Sutton and Brewer is that they had to bring up a struggling Steve Garvey and Joe Ferguson out of the minor league system early when they're too young, because they decided they wanted to bump up Sutton and Brewer. So far this year, the move has been absolutely brilliant for the Dodgers, and they're going to run away with this division, it looks like. So in the bottom of the 9th, it's Gary Matthews. 3-6 is a walk. He'll go to second. Ed Goodson will actually bat. Let's take a look at Ed Goodson's card. Not particularly good against lefties, but it's Jim Brewer. And, you have a better chance of this guy getting on than any of the righties on your bench. Goodson, 2-7 is a pop to first. Chris Spire, 58 is a K. And Ron Dogwell Hunt. Let's take a look at Ron's card before we end the game, because it's always amusing to look at Ron Hunt's card. The hit-by-pitch season of 1972 for Hunt. 71, excuse me. The 71 hit-by-pitch season for Ron Hunt. Had 50 of them. Just a ridiculous-looking card. And here is the pitch. 59 off of Brewer. A Sky to shallow center field. And the Dodgers. Oh, my goodness. Game 4, they broke the Giants' hearts, and then here, Sutton outduels Maricel. The Giants have got to be thinking to themselves, wait till next year. Like, it's probably going to be a wild card situation for them, as the Giants have all the Dodgers have all the answers this year. McMahon came on in the 8th, was awful, just awful. Faced Grabarkowitz, a walk and 3 hits. Walk and 4 hits and 4 runs. Terrible. And Steve Hamilton was lousy last game. Maricel unfortunately takes the loss, though. 7 hits and 4 runs. And they were all earned. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Brewer let a guy get on in the 9th inning for fun, a walk and a K. Sutton, another win, 6 hits, 3 runs. I think only 2 were earned. Yeah. A walk, 7 strikeouts. 1009, 0109, 811, 36. 2 teams moving in different directions, and a lot different than from 2021 to 2022. Wow. This is, I think, the first time the Dodgers have really laid the wood on the Giants in one of these head-to-heads. Let's take a look at the year-to-date numbers for the two teams, and you'll see the difference. And the Giants have had a tough schedule. They just finished a series with the Reds. They lost 3-1, and then this series. So the Giants, they are 5-8. Unbelievable. They were in the league championship series a year ago. They're 5-8. They're hitting just .251. Their team ERA is .481. Steve Hamilton in the bullpen's ERA is, 10, 11, 12, whatever. 9 runs in 6 innings. McMahon just 4 runs in 6 1/3. Juan Maricel's 1-3. Sam McDowell has been the star of the Giants, but he's all by himself. He's 3-0. The rest of the team is 2-8. And frankly, for the Giants' offense, nobody has more than 2 home runs. Speaking of that, when we look at the Dodgers, the home runs, Joe Ferguson and Steve Garvey, the 2 rookies I talked about, they both have a couple of home runs. Grabarkowitz has 3. The Dodgers have more home runs than the Giants. Dodgers are 11-4, hitting .289 with a .291 ERA. Don Sutton, in 5 starts now, is 4-1 with a ERA of $1.50. Incredible. Jim Brewer, 7 innings of relief, a hit and a walk. How about Pete Mickelson, 5 shutout innings of relief? And how about Wes Parker and Bill Russell? Wes Parker, he's near the end of his line, hitting .431. He's been to a couple All-Star games for the Dodgers as well in recent times. Bill Russell, .424. Just pecking away with those singles are the Dodgers. And the league has played 190 games at this point. We're hitting .261 with a .384 ERA. That does it. Just take another quick peek at the standings in the National League West. They're not sorted yet, but oh my goodness, folks. Dodgers up top here, 11-4, while everybody else is stumbling mightily. And this is a Dodger team that doesn't, of course, go to the playoffs until 1974, when Lopes and Say and Garvey gets better, etc., and so on. 11-4 for the Dodgers right now in the National League. Mets are 10-4. So gives you some idea. Thanks for checking out the Carryover League. We'll see you next time.